Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video on my complete overview and demonstration of my phone system and phone network and stuff. The last video I did was of the dial-up internet connection, and I mentioned I was doing a lot of stuff with voice and phone and IP and all this other crap. So I go ahead and make a video about that. Starting off, I have a Polycom VVX 450. This thing is registered and provisioned by a 3CX server I'm a part of. This right here is a very crappy Panasonic phone that's in terrible condition. And this was my house's old landline phone before, back when we had landline a couple years ago. And so that's all for the phones. I need to get some more landline phones. For phone equipment, I have a Cisco VG224 voice gateway. This provides 24 analog phone lines for my security systems and fire alarm panels and all the stuff that reports to Protostar alarm monitoring over phone. This is what that's going through. This is what the calls are going through. I have my Cisco 2011 router. This is acting as my application router. It is running the VXML applications for my phone system. And this is my Cisco 2911 router. This is my main router for both networking, and this is the router that the calls actually get placed into whenever you call into my actual phone system, not this. This is completely just act like this isn't here. So this does my main phone system right there. And that's pretty much it for the equipment I have. Oh, and this server right here, this is actually running, this has the files of this has the VXML and ASP and PHP files that are actually the code. So basically the VXML gateway, or whatever you want to call it, the 2811 router, is set to look at the IP address and a folder that stores all the VXML code in here. Just to keep it simple, just so I'm not putting all the code on here, and if I want to change something, which I change things on this like every day, I just, change it on there besides having to TFTP and edit it and TFTP the file back. Yeah, it's just a big pain, so that's why I did it like that. Going around back, warning, is a big mess. It's probably gotten worse since last video, but we'll take a walk about. Oh, actually, shoot, one more thing. I forgot. This right here is my Cisco SPA 112, or actually it's a 122 ATA. This is providing my PSTN override number. So the PSTN override number is for if you are not on TandemX and you want to call me. The number of that is 682-330-3413. Whenever you call that, I did some pretty interesting stuff there. So that basically just rings my phone right there. Long story short. Going around back, we'll start at like sequence of operation, I guess. Whenever you call one of my number blocks associated to this router, which would be any 682 number block, so whenever you call any 682 number block, for example, 682-0001, it's going to check that number and it's going to see if it's a part of the VXML group. If it is, it's going to route that call through this T1 connection, which is doing ISDN protocol, and it's going to go over T1 into the 2811 application VXML router thing. And this is going to run my VXML scripts for whatever, and then it's going to route the call back out over the same T1 connection, back into the 2911, and it's going to convert it to an FXS port right here for my phone to go into. So this cord right here, why does this freaking iPhone keep focusing on crap I don't want it to focus on? This cord right here is that landline phone that I showed you. That's on my desk. So, yeah, once again, calls get placed into here. They get routed to here, which does a VXML. And the VXML routes the call back to voice port 0 for the FXS card. So that's pretty much how it works. And I'm not going to get into configuration in this video because it was a very big pain in the butt to do. So yeah, but for the ATA stuff, how I had that happen, well, how that's working is out of line 1, this is that cord that's plugged into the back of the ATA. That goes into a FXO card. Probably can't see it. That goes into an FXO card, and that is just rerouting the call to the ISDN port, or the T1 port, over T1, through VXML, obviously, to the FXS port right there where my landline phone's plugged into. So if that makes sense, cool. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Just ask away in the comment section if you have any questions. So I want to go ahead and show the web interface for this. And sorry, a whole bunch of stuff is going to have to be blurred out here because I don't want to show caller IDs. But let's go ahead and view my caller management stuff that I wrote for this. This right here is my call blocking software. Basically, this is a table. Well, this is technically, yeah, it is a table, but I have a database that every single call that gets placed to me is stored. Just their caller ID and the caller ID name and stuff. And what that allows me to do is, with TandemX, currently, there's no way to block calls. Unless you, there's no way to block calls. Unless you do what I'm doing here. So I wrote a VXML script that basically, first thing it does is whenever it checks... Well, first thing it does is it checks my call schedule. So if you call me outside of 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll say, sorry, I'm unavailable, blah, 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 leave a voicemail. We'll get into all that here in a second. And then if you call me within the current times, the call gets routed to, well, VXML checks the caller ID, and it checks the database to see if the caller ID that's calling is already in the database. If it is, then it carries on to the next step, which is checking my allow call table. If the allow call table is set to false, it sends the call to an audio recording that says, sorry, this number has been blocked. If the allow call table is set to true, then it forwards the call over the T1 connection to the FXS port and to the phone. So it's kind of a huge system, a lot of routing that happens here. So 3CX, that is what my Polycom phone over there is registered to. So let's go ahead and block this. Block successful. So we'll go over to my Polycom phone, and this 3CX system is trunked into TandemX, which is why I'm able to call myself here. But we'll go ahead and call my number. Feel free to call me anytime.
Thank you for calling Radix Laboratories. To hear the current call times, press 1. To ring my phone, press 2.
That was a VXML application, so we'll go ahead and press 2.
Sorry, this number has been blocked. If you think this was a mistake, please contact me on Discord.
Boom. And that's because that allow call table, whenever we hit block on 3CX, see block successful right there, it means that obviously that it was blocked, and so it got redirected to that audio file. Now let's go ahead and unblock it. Unblock success, and we'll do the same thing and call my number.
Thank you for calling Radix Laboratories. To hear the current call time...
And now my phone is ringing. And I'm going to have to blur this out because I don't want to show caller ID. Testing. Testing. We'll go ahead and end that because we're about to get a whole bunch of feedback. But yeah, the call went through. So, next thing I want to show is my call schedule. This right here is my call schedule. This is written in ASP code, classic ASP. So let's go ahead and... Today is Sunday, so all we're going to do is we're going to set the stop call to 1 o'clock. And we're doing that because it is currently 4 o'clock, so obviously, since we're past 1 o'clock, calls aren't going to be allowed to go through anymore. So we're going to go ahead and check this.
Sorry, I'm currently unavailable. To leave a voicemail, please wait for the beep.
Testing, voicemail. Obviously, we have voicemail for cool reasons. So you can see that this is the voicemail that was just left right there. And again, I'm going to have to blur this out because I don't want to show caller ID. And sorry, my iPhone just doesn't like autofocusing for some reason. Probably because I had that feature turned off. I should probably enable it again. But, yeah. Anyways, so that's the voicemail stuff, which is very cool. So we're going to come back over here. Well, actually, I want to show one more thing within my web interface. So this is actually a different page, but if we go to caller log right here, you might ask, okay, well, how do I know? Like, what if someone calls me and they don't leave a voicemail and I need to return their call? This is how right here. So this shows the caller ID, which you can't see, and if the allow call is set to, this is a different allow call table. This isn't connected to a database. This is just logging to a TXT file, and this is pulling the data from a TXT file. But basically, if the times are not set, if you call outside my current call time hours, this will say false, and that's because the call wasn't allowed to go through. And so if this is false, that means, okay, I need to check the time, I need to call back them, and I can call back I could call back this number. Now, obviously, you can see the 2 trues up there. That is when calls do get through. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and set this to end at 2300 again, which is 11 o'clock at night. And that is pretty much the phone. Well, it's this side of the thing. Now, with VXML and all the stuff, I can do other stuff. So, let's go back here and talk about some of the other numbers I have set up. As I mentioned, whenever you call 682-0001, it starts off here, routes to this, runs a VXML application, the routes back to here, and then gets transformed into an analog line instead of digital. Because all this, up to this point right here, up to this point, all of it's digital. I have some funny numbers set up like this right here. Let's just call this. Focus. Funny numbers, as I was saying. So, anyways, that is not done through FXO. That is completely digital. So whenever I do that, none of the FXO lights, FXS lights, none of the FXS lights light up. That is because if I have something that says, I have a file called incoming.asp, and that is basically all the possible calls, all the possible numbers that you can call. So if 682-0005 is dialed, redirect the call to this audio recording. That's all it's doing. And that is stored on this VXML application gateway. So I have several cool ones, and I have a public phone directory on stuff you're allowed to call on my website, and I'll go ahead and show that. So if you go over here to user login, and if you don't have a username, just contact me and I'll give you a username. And you hit more, and you go to phone directory. This is all the phone numbers that you can call, and some fun phone numbers and whatnot right there. So yeah, one more thing I'll do is I'll show the current call time stuff. So,
Thank you for calling Radix Lab. The current call times are Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 p.m. through 11 p.m., Tuesday, 8 a.m. through 11 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. through 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you for calling Radix Laboratories.
So yeah, that's all done through VXML. Anyways, that's pretty much, I'm running out of things to say about this system. So if you have any questions, please just leave it down in the comment section below. And also, I don't usually do this or advertise anything on here, and literally every YouTuber ever says that. But I do have a Discord server, and I will post the permanent invite link down in the description below. And right there, I'm mainly active on Discord. So if you have any questions and you want to possibly get in a personal call with me and have like long questions that you don't want to type out, just let me know. Join the Discord server, and we can work things out from there, and I'll be happy to answer questions, because if you message me on Discord, chances are, unless I'm on Do Not Disturb, I'll get back to you almost instantly. So anyways, really appreciate you watching this video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.